Hello everybody, my name one moment guys. Hello everybody, my name is Fan, and today we are reading Jack Reacher Killing Floor by Lee Child for our first Storytime with Fan video ever. I was arrested at Eno's Diner. At 12 o'clock, I was eating eggs and drinking coffee. A late breakfast, not lunch. I was wet and tired after a long walk in heavy rain. All the way from the highway to the edge of town. The diner was small, but bright and clean, brand new, built to resemble a converted railroad car. One moment, let me sit up better. Okay. Narrow, with a long lunch counter on one side and a kitchen bumped out back. Booths lining the opposite wall, a doorway where the center booth would be. I was in a booth, at a window, reading somebody's abandoned newspaper about the campaign for a president I didn't vote for last time and wasn't going to vote for this time. Outside, the rain had stopped, but the glass was pebbled with bright drops. I saw the police cruisers pull into the gravel lot. They were moving fast and uncrunched to a stop, light bars flashing and popping. Red and blue. Red and white and blue. I mean, red and blue. Okay. Red and blue light and the raindrops on my window. Doors burst open. Policemen jumped out. Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Wee-woo, wee-woo! Get on the ground! Okay, bro. Policemen jumped out. 2 from each car. Weapons ready. 2 revolvers, 2 shotguns. This was heavy stuff. 1 revolver and 1 shotgun ran to the back. 1 of each rushed to the door. I just sat and watched them. I knew who was at the diner. A cook in back, 2 waitresses, 2 old men, and me. This operation was for me. I had been in town less than a half hour. The other 5 had probably been here all their lives. Any problem with any of them, and an embarrassed sergeant would have shuffled that in. He would be apologetic. He would mumble to them. He would ask them to come down to the station house, so the heavy weapons didn't and the rush weren't for any of them. They were for me. I crammed the egg into my mouth and trapped the 5 under the plate, folding the abandoned newspaper into a square and shoved it into my coat pocket. Kept my hands above the table and I drained my cup. The guy with the revolver stayed at the door. He went into a crouch and pointed the weapon two-handed at my head. The guy with the shotgun approached close. These were fit, lean boys, neat and tidy. The textbook moves. Textbook moves. The revolver at the door could cover the room with a degree of accuracy. The shotgun up close could splatter me all over the windows. The other way around would be a mistake. The revolver could miss in a close quarters struggle, and a long-range shotgun blast from the door would kill the arresting officer and the old guy in the rear booth as well as me. So far, they were doing it right. No doubt about that. They had the advantage. No doubt about that either. The tight booth trapped me. I was too head in to do much. I spread my hands on the table. The officer with the shotgun came near. Police! 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 He's raging! He's raging! Boom! 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 Okay, bro. Boom! No. Police! Police! He screamed. He was screaming as loud as he could, blowing off his tension and trying to scare me. Textbook moves. Plenty of sound and fury to soften the target. I raised my hands. The guy with the revolver started in from the door. The guy with the shotgun came close, too close. Their first error. If I had to, I might have lunged for the shotgun barrel and forced it up. A blast into the ceiling shotgun could have been mine. A blast into the ceiling, perhaps an elbow into the policeman's face, and the shotgun could be mine. The guy with the revolver narrowed his angle and couldn't risk hitting his partner. It could have ended badly for them. But I just sat there, hands raised. The guy with the shotgun was still screaming and jumping. "Out here on the floor!" he yelled. I did slowly out of the booth and extended my wrist to the officer with the revolver. I wasn't going to lie on the floor, not for these country boys. Not if they thought along their whole police department with howitzers. The guy with the revolver was the sergeant. He was pretty calm. The shotgun covered me as the sergeant holstered his revolver and clipped the handcuffs from his belt and clicked them on my wrists. The backup team came in through the kitchen. They walked around the lunch counter, took up position behind me. They patted me down. Very thorough, saw the sergeant acknowledge. Very thorough. I saw the sergeant acknowledge the shakes of the heads. No weapon. The backup guys each took an elbow. The shotgun still covered me. The sergeant stepped up in front. He was a compact, athletic white man. You know, in this country, this white neighbor. Oh, okay, bro. Lean and tan, my age. The accurate name, the acetate, acetate. I don't know. The ACETATE nameplate above his shirt. Pocket read Baker. He looked up at me. You are under arrest for murder, he said. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used as evidence against you. You have the right to representation by an attorney, should you be unable to afford an attorney. One will be appointed for you by the state of Georgia, free of charge. Do you understand these rights? It was a fine rendition of Miranda. He spoke clearly. He didn't read it from a clock. He spoke it like he knew. No, he spoke it like he knew what it meant and why it was important to him and to me. I didn't respond. Do you understand your rights? He said again. Again, I didn't respond. Long experience had taught me that absolute silence is the best way. Say something and it can be misheard, misunderstood, misinterpreted. It can get you convicted. It can get you killed. Silence upsets the arresting officer. He is to tell you silence is your right, but he hates it if you exercise that right. I was being arrested for murder, but I said nothing. Do you understand your rights? The guy called Baker asked me again. Do you speak English? He was calm, and I said nothing. He remained calm. He had the calm of a man whose moment of danger had passed. He was driving the station house, and then I would become someone else in thought. He glanced round at his three fellow officers. Okay, make a note. He said. Okay. Okay, make a note. He said nothing. He grunted. Let's go. I was walking toward the door. At the door, we formed a single file. First Baker, then the guy with the shotgun. Ba-boom! Walking back, still with the big black barrel, the big black the big back. Okay, I'm okay. Don't worry, guys. I think that joke killed me. The big black barrel pointed at him. His nameplate read Stevenson. He was a medium white man in good shape. His weapon looked like a drain pipe, pointing at my gun. Behind me were the backup guys. I was pushed through the door with a hand flat on my back. Outside in the ground was a lot. The heat was up. It must have rained all night and most of the morning. Now the sun was blasting away and the ground was steaming. Let's see if we can capture that. Normally this would be a dusty, hot place. Today was steaming with that wonderful, heady aroma of drenched pavement under a hot noon sun. I stood face up to the sun and inhaled as the officers regrouped, one at each elbow for the short walk to the cars. Stevenson still on the ball with the pump action. At the first car, he skipped backward a step as Baker opened the rear door. My head was pushed down. I was nudged into the car with a neat hip-to-hip contact from the left head back up. Good moves. In a town this far from anywhere, surely the result of a lot of training rather than a lot of experience. I was alone in the back of the car. A thick glass partition of this divided space. The front doors were still open. Baker and Stevenson got it in. Baker drove. Stevenson was twisted around, keeping me under observation. Nobody talked. The backup car followed. The cars were new. Quiet and smooth riding, clean and cool inside. No one ingrained traces of desperate and pathetic people riding to where I was riding. I looked out the window. Georgia. Saw rich land. Heavy, damp red earth. Very long and straight rows of low bushes in the fields. Peanuts, maybe. Peanuts! I'm allergic! No, I'm kidding. I am allergic, though. Belly crumbs. Peanuts, maybe. Belly crumbs. But valuable to the grower. Or to the owner. But do people own their land here? Or did giant corporations? I didn't know. The drive to the town was short. The car hissed over the smooth soaked tarmac. After maybe a half mile, I saw two neat buildings, both new, both with tied to landscaping. The police station and the firehouse. They stood alone, together. But behind, oh my God, I'm reading a little too fast. Behind a wide lawn with a statue, north edge of town, attractive county architecture on a generous budget. Roads were smooth and tarmac. The sidewalks were red blocks. 300 yards south, I could see a blinding white church steeple behind a small huddle of buildings. I could see the flagpoles, awnings, crisp paint, green lawns, everything refreshed by the heavy rain. Now street steaming and somehow intense in the heat. A prosperous community, built, I guess, on prosperous farm incomes and high taxes in the commuters who worked up and inland. Stevenson still stared at me as the car slowed to yaw into the approach to the station house. A wide semicircle on the driveway. I read on a low masonry sign, Margrave Police Headquarters. I thought, should I be worried? I was under arrest in a town where I'd never been before, apparently for murder. But I knew two things. First, they couldn't prove something had happened if it hadn't happened. And second, I hadn't killed anybody. Not in their town, and not for a long time, anyway. Alright, let's bookmark it. I have no more time for today. Unfortunately. Alright. There we go. Chapter 2 tomorrow, or maybe some other time, whenever I'm feeling it. Please like and subscribe. See y'all. Hope you enjoyed.